Our story takes us back thousands of years to the land of Canaan. Here, we meet Joseph, the 11th son of Jacob, a shepherd with a large, complicated family. Despite the hardships of life in Canaan, Joseph carries himself with hope and optimism. He dreams of a life filled with purpose and meaning, unaware that his life is about to change forever. This is the story of Joseph, a tale of betrayal, perseverance, and forgiveness. Welcome to Bible Stories and Chronicles channel. If you like to hear beautiful stories from Bible, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. Thank you. Joseph's father, Jacob, favors him above all his other sons, gifting him a beautiful multicolored coat. This favoritism breeds resentment among his brothers, who toil under the hot sun while Joseph enjoys a life of privilege. Unaware of the brewing storm, Joseph continues to dream, oblivious to his brother's growing animosity. Joseph dreams of 11 sheaves of wheat and celestial bodies bowing down to him. He shares these dreams with his brothers, who mock and scorn him, their fear and jealousy growing. Even Jacob scolds him, but Joseph clings to the belief that his dreams hold a deeper significance. He trusts in God's plan despite the mystery surrounding it. Joseph's dreams haunt his brothers, turning jealousy into discontent. Sent by Jacob to check on his brothers, Joseph approaches, his colorful coat visible from a distance. His brothers' resentment boils over, and they mutter darkly as he nears, feeling like a stranger among his own kin. Consumed by jealousy, the brothers plot to get rid of Joseph. Reuben suggests throwing him into a dry pit, planning to rescue him later. They seize Joseph, tear off his coat, and cast him into the cistern. As they eat, a caravan of traders approaches, and Judah suggests selling Joseph to the Ishmaelites. For 20 pieces of silver, Joseph is betrayed by his own flesh and blood. Joseph is taken to Egypt and sold to Potiphar, the captain of Pharaoh's guard. Reuben, discovering the empty pit, is horrified and anguished. Meanwhile, Joseph begins his life as a slave in a strange land, feeling utterly alone. Stripped of his freedom and dreams, he faces an uncertain future. The brothers dip Joseph's coat in goat's blood and present it to Jacob, claiming a wild beast devoured him. Jacob, overcome with grief, mourns for Joseph, believing him dead. The brothers' deception brings unimaginable pain to their father, tainting their victory with guilt. In Egypt, Joseph serves Potiphar, carrying himself with dignity and faith. His intelligence and work ethic earn him a position of trust, managing Potiphar's household. Despite his heartache, Joseph finds purpose in his work and honors God. Years pass and Joseph transforms into a capable overseer, yet fate has more trials in store for him. Potiphar's wife, spurned by Joseph, falsely accuses him of assault. Potiphar, swayed by his wife's tears, condemns Joseph to Pharaoh's prison. Betrayed and alone, Joseph clings to his faith, trusting that the truth will prevail. He endures the darkness of the dungeon, believing God remains by his side. In prison, Joseph's spirit remains unbroken. He offers kindness to fellow prisoners, earning a reputation for integrity. When Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker arrive, Joseph interprets their dreams, offering hope. His gift of dream interpretation spreads, bringing a glimmer of light to the prison. Joseph interprets the cupbearer's dream, predicting his restoration to Pharaoh's service. The baker's dream, however, foretells his grim fate. Joseph, though sympathetic, conveys God's message, knowing he is merely a messenger. The cupbearer, grateful, promises to remember Joseph, but time will tell if he keeps his word. 2 years pass and Joseph remains in prison, his hope fading. The cupbearer, restored to his position, forgets Joseph's kindness. Despite the silence, Joseph clings to his faith, believing God has a purpose for him. He endures, trusting that in God's time, all things will be made right. Meanwhile, far removed from the confines of the prison, Pharaoh, the mighty ruler of Egypt, was troubled. He had experienced a series of vivid dreams that left him feeling deeply unsettled. The Nile, lifeblood of Egypt, transformed into a monstrous beast, devouring everything in its path. 7 sleek, healthy cows grazed peacefully by the riverbank, only to be swallowed whole by 7 sickly, emaciated cows. The dreams, so vivid, so disturbing, shook Pharaoh to his core. He sensed that they held a deeper meaning, a message from the gods themselves. He summoned his advisors, his magicians, his wisest men, demanding an interpretation. They gathered in the grand hall of the palace, their faces etched with concern as they listened intently to Pharaoh's recounting of his nocturnal visions. But despite their best efforts, their knowledge of ancient texts and arcane rituals, the meaning of Pharaoh's dreams remained elusive. The advisors, their faces pale with fear, could offer no explanation, no interpretation that satisfied the pharaoh. Their failure only served to deepen the pharaoh's unease, his fear morphing into a gnawing anxiety that spread like a virus through the palace walls. The news of Pharaoh's troubled dreams, and his advisors' inability to interpret them, spread throughout the land like wildfire. The people of Egypt, deeply superstitious and reliant on the Nile's bounty, grew fearful. Was this a sign of the gods' displeasure? Were they to be punished for some unknown transgression? A sense of foreboding settled over the land, casting a long shadow over the once bright days of Pharaoh's reign. It was then, in the midst of Pharaoh's growing despair, that the cupbearer finally remembered Joseph. The memory of the young prisoner, his uncanny ability to interpret dreams, surfaced from the depths of his mind. He recalled Joseph's kindness, his quiet wisdom, and the accuracy with which he had foretold his own fate. He approached the pharaoh, hesitantly at first, then with growing confidence as he recounted his own experience in the prison. He spoke of Joseph's gift, a gift from God, he insisted, a gift that could unlock the mystery of Pharaoh's troubling dreams. The pharaoh, desperate for answers, listened intently, a glimmer of hope flickering in his eyes. An order was swiftly dispatched to the prison. Joseph, his hair and beard long and unkempt from years of confinement, was hastily washed, shaved, and dressed in clean garments. He stood before the prison warden, his heart pounding in his chest, a mixture of anticipation and trepidation washing over him. Why had he been summoned? What did Pharaoh, ruler of all Egypt, want with a lowly prisoner? As he was escorted through the bustling streets of the city, the noise and commotion a stark contrast to the oppressive silence of the prison, Joseph offered up a silent prayer. He prayed for guidance, for strength, and for the courage to face whatever lay ahead. He knew that his life once again was about to change, that he stood on the precipice of destiny. The grandeur of the palace took Joseph's breath away. He had never seen such opulence, such displays of wealth and power. He was ushered into the throne room, his eyes adjusting to the dim lighting. He knelt before the pharaoh, his heart pounding. Pharaoh, his face etched with worry, described his dreams. He spoke of the Nile transformed into a monstrous beast. He described 7 healthy cows, followed by 7 sickly ones. Joseph listened intently, recognizing the hand of God. He explained the dreams, 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine. Joseph advised storing grain during the years of plenty. The pharaoh, impressed by Joseph's wisdom, saw a leader in him. He made a momentous decision that would change Egyptian history. Pharaoh, his heart stirred by both Joseph's interpretation and his wise counsel, made a decision that would forever alter the course of Egyptian history. He saw in Joseph a man of unparalleled wisdom, a man touched by the hand of God. He saw in him the salvation of Egypt. With a voice filled with awe and authority, Pharaoh declared, "Can we find such a one as this, a man in whom is the Spirit of God?" Turning to Joseph, who knelt before him, Pharaoh spoke words that echoed through the grand hall. "For as much as God has shown you all this, there is none so discreet and wise as you are. You shall be over my house, and according unto your word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than you." And so, in a remarkable turn of events, Joseph, the Hebrew slave, the forgotten prisoner, rose to a position of power and influence unmatched in all of Egypt. Pharaoh adorned Joseph in fine linen, placed a gold chain about his neck, and bestowed upon him a signet ring, symbols of authority and power. He was given the name Zaphanath-Paneah, and presented with Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On, as his wife. Joseph, once a lowly shepherd, now rode in a chariot of honor, second only to Pharaoh himself. With wisdom and diligence, Joseph set about enacting his plan to save Egypt from the impending famine. He traveled throughout the land, overseeing the gathering and storage of grain during the 7 years of plenty. He managed the resources of Egypt with unparalleled skill, ensuring that the storehouses were filled to overflowing, ready for the lean years that lay ahead. The prophesied famine did indeed strike, not only Egypt but also the surrounding lands, including the land of Canaan, where Joseph's family resided. Driven by hunger, 10 of Joseph's brothers traveled to Egypt to seek aid. They arrived at Joseph's palace, unaware that the powerful viceroy who stood before them, the man who held their fate in his hands, was the brother they had betrayed so many years ago. Joseph recognized his brothers instantly, but they did not recognize him. The years had transformed him from a boy into a man, his features hardened by experience, his eyes holding the weight of authority. He tested them, speaking harshly, accusing them of being spies. He demanded that they bring their youngest brother Benjamin as proof of their honesty. The brothers, desperate to obtain grain for their families, returned to Canaan and reluctantly brought Benjamin back to Egypt. Joseph, his heart torn between a desire for revenge and a longing for reconciliation, orchestrated a final test. He secretly placed a silver cup in Benjamin's sack, accusing him of theft. Judah, the brother who had once proposed selling Joseph into slavery, now stepped forward, offering himself in Benjamin's place. His plea, filled with remorse and a newfound sense of responsibility, broke through the wall that Joseph had built around his heart. Overcome with emotion, Joseph could no longer maintain his disguise. "I am Joseph your brother," he declared, his voice thick with tears. "Does my father yet live?" The brothers, stunned and overwhelmed with guilt and shame, could only stare in disbelief. Joseph's journey from favored son to enslaved outcast to powerful leader is a testament to the enduring power of faith, forgiveness, and the unwavering belief in God's plan, even amidst life's greatest trials. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times when hope seems lost, God is always with us, working behind the scenes to bring about his purposes. Joseph's story teaches us the importance of forgiveness. Despite the deep wounds inflicted by his brothers, Joseph chose to forgive, recognizing that their actions, though driven by jealousy and anger, were ultimately part of God's greater plan. His act of forgiveness not only freed him from the bitterness and resentment that could have consumed him, but also opened the door for reconciliation and the restoration of his family. Furthermore, Joseph's journey highlights the significance of integrity and perseverance. Even as a slave, falsely accused and imprisoned, Joseph never compromised his values. He worked diligently, treated others with kindness, and maintained his trust in God. His unwavering integrity, even in the face of adversity, ultimately paved the way for his rise to power and the fulfillment of his destiny. Joseph's story is a powerful reminder that our trials, though painful and seemingly insurmountable at times, can serve a greater purpose in our lives. They can refine our character, strengthen our faith, and ultimately lead us to a deeper understanding of God's love and plan for our lives. Thousands of years after his time, Joseph's story continues to resonate with people from all walks of life. It is a story that transcends time and culture, offering timeless lessons that are as relevant today as they were in ancient Egypt. Joseph's journey serves as a beacon of hope, a testament to the transformative power of faith, forgiveness, and the belief in a God who works all things together for good. It encourages us to embrace forgiveness, let go of past hurts, and extend grace. Joseph's unwavering integrity and commitment to doing what is right serve as a powerful example. His story inspires us to stand firm in our convictions and live lives marked by honesty and integrity. In a world often filled with darkness, Joseph's story offers a message of hope. It reminds us that even in adversity, God is at work, orchestrating events according to his perfect plan. We will continue with another beautiful story from Bible in our next video. Subscribe so that you will not miss it. Thanks for watching.